Hello, this is Decimal. In this video, I want to talk about the development video where they give output from the zero coast and route it into the CHOMPI. The original video is 16 minutes long, so what I did is I took sections that I found most interesting and I'm going to give additional commentary. So let's get into it. I'll leave the full video in the description for those who are interested.
We can go direct if we want to. We could just start applying different effects to this sound, or we could sample it right away. So this is a monophonic sound, right? Only one note can be played at a time. If I decide to sample it, now I'm going to sample that sound, and now I can play that sound polyphonically. So we're not actually listening to the O coast. Once we flip the switch down, we're just listening to our sampling engine.
So what I find really interesting about this is the ability to take something that's monophonic and then make it polyphonic. I have a similar workflow that I use with the black box. So when I sample a synth, all I have to do is get one note, and then the black box will be able to give me a polyphonic synthesizer from that one note. And the CHOMPI has a different workflow, of course, because they don't have a screen. You will also have to flip between the two different modes from getting input from the zero coast and not, so this is something to consider as well when getting this device.
So now if we want to play the O coast on top of that sound, we can layer these together. So we have a polyphonic sampling engine playing, while also having a monophonic sound playing on top. And we could turn this drone off so that we can just get one note at a time too. So that's pretty cool.
Layering different sounds is obviously great. So imagine replacing the no coast with like a digitac or something. My question is, will I be able to control the levels of the external input? I don't think they show it in this video very clearly. I'm just wondering about that, but it would be cool to have, you know, input from a drum sequencer and then be able to live play with the CHOMPI over top. So layering is of course a feature that's going to be great for exploration and different musical ideas.
Now we could also turn on the effects. So that effects is happening at the end of the chain.
One thing that really impresses me about the CHOMPI are the actual effects that come with it. So I do think the effects sound really good, and they have different variations such as reverb and delays and stuff like that.
So we can do, this is the amount that it's going to be applied. We can do a sample where we actually move the knob through it. So now, that's kind of cool. Sounds like a swarm of bees patch or something. Let's bring some effects onto that. I'm going to bring in some saturation here. Maybe a little bit of the filter. And then finally, the magic wand here. Oh, I'm clipping in the camera. Sorry about that. All right, I lied. It was a little bit more melodic than I was going for, but still, you get the point, right? We can do much more complex tones. Almost, that was like a wavetable type way of getting a full, you know, different scope of your actual harmonics in your sample, and bringing out a totally different feeling in your voice.
What I really enjoy about this part is the ambient and sonic capabilities they show that is possible on the CHOMPI, especially when it comes to adding effects and whatnot. So they didn't intend it on being melodic. It doesn't necessarily have to be melodic. You can also maybe add some noise samples and see what you can do with that, but I think it'll end up being melodic if it has, you know, even a little bit of synthesis that isn't directly noise. So I find it interesting. Like, this could be a great tool for ambient soundscapes. At least this is the way that I would use it if I get the CHOMPI.
And then bring our effects back. That's kind of a cool way to bring that complexity out.
Again, these effects just sound absolutely great.
Why don't we make a loop here? Now, I could go in a lot of different directions when we start bringing the loop in. Let's take it in, like I said earlier, maybe a little bit more of the like destruction mentality. So I'm going to bring this way down. Sorry. Ooh, that's cool. All right, another feature I want to show you. So if we hold the play key and then we hit loop, now the looper is going to wait for the first key press of the keyboard before it starts recording our loop. So I'm going to make a little chord here. Now I hit it again to set my loop length. Now when it's yellow, you're seeing that we're overdubbing still. So that's a cool drone. So if we keep that going, now I can retune this synth. This might be a little obnoxious here for you. Now, like I showed earlier, we could just turn on the overdub again. Let's bring this up here. So now we are able to layer and create both sounds in the same space. Pretty rad, right? And then since our effects are in the end of the chain, I can still edit this stuff here. I don't want to clip the camera, so I'm trying to keep the volume nice and low here. But I want to destroy that a bit more. Using that filter to bring out different frequencies. And we can really crank the magic wand and get some pretty hectic reverb on the end here. All right, and then of course we can really destroy this thing. We can delete our loop by holding down the play and the loop key. Clearly, you can take this thing in a lot of different directions, and you can get a lot of different types of flavors and results based on whatever you're bringing, into CHOMPI.
What I found really interesting about that segment is seeing the looping workflow and also the destruction of a sample using saturation and other methods to really get things that are gritty. Now, if you guys are interested in this video, I'll leave the full video link in the description. I suggest you check it out. But what I did is I just took the the parts that I found most interesting, did some commentary over top. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this development demo of the CHOMPI meets Zero Coast in the comments down below, and thank you very much for watching.